Hey y'all, hey, good evening wherever you are. If it's evening time, happy Sunday once again. This is my second vlog of the day, and this is post-church talk and venting session right now. So today I'm just gonna breathe in. At this moment, I'm gonna breathe in and then exhale. So as the wind blows like the perfect breeze and the beautiful sun is now out after the storm, so that's a gem. There's always sunshine after the rain, so just hold on, hold tight, and hang in there. But it's so beautiful. It's giving very much Cali vibes, Cali weather, and I am here for it today. Okay, but what I want to discuss today is something that I've been holding on to or holding in for quite some time, since 2021 actually. So 2021, 22, 23, 24, going on 3 years, I've just been holding this in. And it's about my struggle with finding a church home that's suitable for me. And ooh, goodness gracious, that's the thing about nature, baby. Stuff just come from out of nowhere. All right, little bugs. But yeah, so none of you know this except for my family and my parents, of course. But I used to go to this church, and my parents literally attended that church before I was ever born. Like, I was literally in the womb when they was going to this church. Keep in mind that they'd already had both of my brothers, and then I was in the oven. So I'm 34 now. That just goes to show how long we'd been at this church, right? And some people may watch this and kind of put two and two together or research and figure it out, because if it were me watching this on somebody else's channel, that's what I do. Because I'm an investigator, okay? I like to be in the know. I can't stand not knowing, so I will research until I get the answer, and I be like, oh, that's what she's talking about, or that's what he's talking about. So anyways, sticking to the topic, we'd been going to this church for a long time. I'm 34 once again, so we'd stop, if it's been 3 years, we stopped going when I was what, 31 years old. All the way up until 31 years of my life, we've attended this church. And there was an incident that occurred where the pastor, and most people call it like a mega church here in Houston, Texas, so that's a hint. I don't want to expose the church and expose the pastor, so if you find out who I'm talking about, if you find out the church that I previously went to, then hey, you're an investigator, okay? PI, okay? But if not, then so sorry. But yes, so here in Houston, Texas, again, most people called it or classified it as a mega church because you had Deion Sanders, who went there when I was young, little. And then you had the first lady, her sister was a top model back in the day, and she attended that church because her sister obviously is still currently the first lady. So you just had like a lot of high profile names to permanently attend that church back in the day. So we've been there back in 2019, I believe, actually, is when a lot of speculation started to happen about some fraudulent activities that the lead pastor had gotten off into. And that fraudulent activity was money laundering. And despite that, because we are loyal people, we were actually going to continue attending that church. But then my cousin, first cousin, who'd gone to this church as well, he was kind of like on and off, but nonetheless, he still attended the church with his family from time to time. They'd given tithe and offering to this church over the years, again, whenever they did attend. And He passed away in 2021. Randomly, he was at work and he just completely collapsed. And all of the doctors that we spoke to, different nurses or whatever, said that it was just natural causes. The family, of course, personally, we know what caused it. Even though it was natural causes, we know what caused that natural cause. It was a plethora of reasons, but you know, I'm not going to get into details about that. But yeah, so he passed away on his job, and how do I say this without exposing so much information? Because y'all know me, and certain things are still private and sacred. So, well, I can tell this. So what happened is not that we didn't have the financial part or aspect of it to contribute to his funeral service or whatever. It was just that the money he had left behind was put in a minor's name, his oldest daughter's name. It was left to her. So really quickly, that's a note that you need to take. When you do your money, when you have your money tied up, whether it's from your 401k or whatever the case may be, leave it to somebody that's of age so it can circumvent like financial hardships and things like that, so it can minimize any type of hardships. Leave it to somebody that is of legal age that can be trusted, because if not, then this is what will arise. So we didn't have access to the money, only she did, but she's a minor. So we couldn't come up with any of the money spot on to bury him for his burial, right? So of course, collectively as a family, it was like, okay, now what's plan B? Because plan A, point blank period, the fact of the matter is we didn't have access to the money. Out of all the people we would have thought, we just knew he would have left it to, from his mama to my mama to possibly me to one of the three coming to us, or even my dad, because we were all like this, right? Nope, that wasn't the case. That was not the case. Again, it is tied up in my younger cousin's name, which is his oldest daughter, who is 16. So she can't touch the money until she's 18. So she's still, well, 2 years from now, she'll be able to access it. But still, she's still going to be a teenager with such a large lump sum of money. So I'm just praying on that, and I pray she does the right thing with it. I pray that no one takes advantage of her in those finances. I just pray for my baby. I pray for his baby that that does not become a thing. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But yeah, so if y'all can kind of pick up on where I'm going with this, that's that, right? So we didn't have access to it once again. So collectively, it's like, okay, again, going into plan B, what can we do now? Since we don't have a plan A like we thought we would, what's plan B or plan C if we have to go that route? And my aunts, me included, his cousins, my mama, which is his aunt, my mom, everyone, my uncles, we all had to pitch in collectively. We didn't have a fish fry. We didn't do the typical route of black folks, as they would say, oh, y'all shouldn't have anybody doing fish fries and stuff. Y'all need to have y'all money saved. Y'all need to have y'all money invested so y'all can be able to withdraw and pull out when necessary. And granted, we did have that, which is how we were able to collectively come together and do his burial, which was, it only came to a lump sum of $5,000 because he ended up being cremated. So that was the less expensive route, and we went ahead and did it, and we still have remaining of his ashes. I think that was the best way to go, to be honest, and that's something that I'm even considering. Lord, no time soon, in the name of Jesus, but that's something that, you know, now that we've done it with him, it's like everybody is considering that, because to ashes we were made, to ashes we return. So it makes sense spiritually and biblically. But anyways, yeah. So when it came time to it, before we came up with the plan B, we reached out to the church that we'd been attending all of these years. My parents gave so much money to this church that they literally have still to this day, because you can't take it out the walls. They literally have their names embedded, my mommy and my dad's name embedded on the inside bricks. It's like a brick wall, a steel brick wall of plaques of the individuals who have donated and given and tithed and offered so much money accumulatively. All this time, from the time that they've been at this church, they have been plastered on the walls. And granted, that's not why my parents did it. They didn't even know that that was going to happen. That was just something that the church board, out of the whim, decided to do, to pay their respect for people, for the individuals or the church members who had made such large contributions over the years. So to our surprise, I mean, you would think logically, right, based on all of that I just explained, that when it came time to bury someone who also contributed financially to your church, to the expansion of your church, to all of these kingdom building centers in elderly complexes in suburb areas that has your name and stuff plastered on it, due to these individuals giving and providing the finances to do so, you would think that in someone's time of need, for $5,000, again, my parents had probably donated over millions of dollars, because like I said, 31 years, actually over 31 years that we were attending this church. Something that flew by me. But over 30 some odd years we were going to this church, and the one time we needed them, is like, if you weren't top level on this board, if you weren't like the board of trustees or a high profile member within that board, it's just like, it made us feel like, to heck with you. Thank you for what you've done. We've acknowledged what you've done by plastering your name on these expensive, luxurious, pretty bricks that we've had installed, steel bricks that we've had like installed inside of the church house. As soon as you enter, you can see all of the names. But we cannot help you in your time of need. So just imagine how that made us feel, right? That's not a good feeling. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Are we comprehending this correctly? You're not willing to help, but you're steady having funerals for your board of trustees, people and personnel, but you can't help the basic folk. I guess that's what you would classify us as. The basic folk fund his burial. And we're not putting like, oh, you should have did this, you should have did. We're not shaming anybody, because ultimately it's like, oh, okay, you know, that's life, right? We should be responsible for paying for our loved ones' burial services, and we got that. It was just, it's not like we didn't have the money, we just did not have access to the money. I can't even come on here, and I won't come on here and even say the lump sum of money he left behind for my little cousin, for his oldest daughter. But she gonna be straight. Just put it like that. She good for college. She good for any extracurricular activities she want to do. She want to travel the world. She good, and her siblings are good. It depends on how she wants to split the money now. That's going to be solely up to her, if no one gets in her ear and take advantage of her finances that were left to her. They gonna be good. Regardless, it don't matter. They're gonna be good. But it's just, again, we didn't have access to it. Only she has access to it, and not right now. Not immediately. So it was just like, how are you? We're watching with no ill intent. We were just watching in general, like finding out people who had passed during the pandemic. When they completely closed the church, they opened up the church for certain people to even have a funeral service. When it was our turn to ask if he could even have his service at the church, they denied us and told us no. Y'all, they denied us and told us no, we're not open to the public. But then here we were just previously watching y'all have service for the people who are on the board of trustees. So is that not public? Is that not open to the public? That's still a public service, because it's still people from the outside. Y'all don't know all of his family that flew in from out of town, this, that, and the third, or people who came to the church for his service that he worked with outside of church, but in the real corporate world. Y'all didn't know those folks, but they were there, so that is still classified as public, a public service. But you deny us common folk? Like, come on. So ever since then, you know, our loyalty is top tier. But my mama, and because of that, my mama was just like, I'm not having it. This is absolutely unacceptable. So we changed churches. We go to the church. We now attend the church that did allow us to have his burial service there, a church that never closed down during the pandemic. They kept the Lord's house open to the public to get that word, to get that scripture, to get that message, and instill it in their brains. They kept the church open. They allowed us to have his service. They contributed to a lot. They helped us so much. They had cooks on standby. They had this, everything we needed, they granted. And we didn't even attend that church, which is so crazy because I actually went there when I was younger. I went to the church that we go to now. I went there when I was little. When I used to spend a night at my godmom's mother's house, we would go to church with her, and the church we're at now is the church that she used to go to and take us when I was little. And it's so crazy actually because she still goes to that church, but now we're all grown up. All the little kids were all grown up, and my godmom's mom still attends that church. But it's like a full circle moment because now we actually permanently attend that church. But for me, it's still like I'm still kind of, I feel like I'm not whole, like I'm still incomplete because there's no closure with my other church, my former church. And when I say, y'all, I love that church. Every pastor that preached there, that taught there, absolutely amazing. From the youth pastor to the children pastor to the adult pastors, everybody I felt was legit. Even the head pastor and the first lady, I felt like they were so legit. And it gets me emotional because y'all don't even understand. If you understand, let me know in the comments below if this has ever happened to you, or if you've ever felt a way about a church house that you gave so much to and that you spent nearly your entire life at. So it's just like, I still feel like a little lost and confused with church homes. And we actually went back to the church to visit. We went back in January. We went back to our first church home. And it was just so different due to everything that transpired and the situation that was at hand. We used to have 3 major services, actually 4, because you have a 6 p.m. service on Saturday night, and then on Sunday you have 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. Now, because of the issue that happened or whatever, the problem that arose with the money laundering and stuff like that, the church has been reduced to only 1 service, 9:30 service, and that's it. So that says a lot right there. Like, so many people left the congregation, and again, we were willing to stay even after that because of our longing, faithfulness, and loyalty. We were going to stay even after that. But it was just that situation with my cousin. It's just like, how do you disregard someone? How do you put somebody on the back burner? How do you just completely disregard people who have contributed to the success of your church? How do you say, no, we're not willing to open our doors for you? Like, come on. So I just still personally feel like I didn't have that closure. Even when we went back in January, I thought that was going to be closure, but I still feel like unsettled. Like, I feel like I want to bring this up because maybe the first lady don't even know about this, because it wasn't her that we went to. It wasn't her that my parents went to ask about the burial services. It was somebody else on the board. And this is also the same person who my parents go through for their investments. And my parents are still tied to their investments within this church. I'm telling y'all, we were very active. My parents were very, very active in that church. And they poured out a lot of funds and money into that church. And this is for anyone who goes to any church. Y'all should honor and do things for anyone who has contributed to such a conglomerate of wealth to help, once again, build everything that you've built, expand on everything that you've expanded, gain land to make that expansion happen. by financial contribution. No one, absolutely no one should feel like they just been kicked to the curb. Sorry, we can't help you. Find somebody else. And we found somebody else. And now they get our tithes and offerings. And it seems like a lot of other people in the congregation found someone else. And they're now contributing their tithes and offerings and pouring those into whatever church home that they're currently at. Because y'all don't do right. Y'all don't do right. And this is a message for everyone. Do right by people. Even if people need help with rent, if they fall on hardship times, y'all get so much money in these churches. I'm going to speak on it. There is no reason anybody should be evicted on the church's behalf. There's no reason why anybody should be starving, should be going foodless, clothless, anything. Mental health, that should be established in the church house. Y'all need to have some type of mental health therapists and stuff on standby. And you need to make it free. Y'all can pay them out the church money, but because we're already giving it to you. Why are we paying y'all and then backdooring and paying the therapists? That should be the money that y'all should give them. We've already paid our dues. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to speak on that, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'm all about integrity. Integrity of a person, integrity of a church, integrity and character of a church as a whole, as a collective. Y'all got to be ashamed. Y'all got to start doing better, because this is just out of line and out of order. And like I said, I just feel so like I'm still kind of shattered by it, to be honest, which is why I'm on here in 2024 talking about it, because it's just something that's been weighing on me. And I feel like nobody has ever really talked about it. They just stopped going to church. But I'm going to keep going to church. I may not go to that church, and I miss it dearly. I miss it so much, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. But my loyalty is with my family. And if my family say go, that's where I'm going to follow. Because, yeah, I understand ultimately why they are no longer at that church, and why they don't want to have anything to do with it. And my dad misses it too. My mama is just like, baby, it's in the shadows with my mama, because that was her nephew. So it's just like, absolutely not. And basically, I mean, him and my daddy, you couldn't tell me he was basically you would think he came from my daddy's brother or something like that, because basically it's two of the same, one of the same, really, when it comes to my mama. It's my mama's nephew from my auntie, my mom's sister. But child, that boy went everywhere with my daddy. That man went everywhere with my daddy, working, just everywhere. Texans game, everywhere. He was always with my daddy. So my daddy, we all took it really, really hard, as I mentioned, especially because we did not expect it. None of the deaths that have occurred previously, from my best friend to my cousin, none of them were expected. Like, me personally, I literally went to Jamaica with my best friend for her 30th birthday, and she passed a week later. Like, what? No signs of anything. We had a blast. As much as I've traveled out the country or just traveled in general, Jamaica was the best trip I went to thus far, still to this day, hands down. There's no hesitation about it. That was the best trip with this girl and some of her other friends that she invited. I mean, God just ordained that so perfectly, because she had people from Philly to fly in. She had people from, where was some other people, from California to fly in, from Florida to fly in. We all met up in Jamaica, and I was on the plane with her traveling to Jamaica. So that was completely unexpected. And then my cousin passing, my best friend passed in 2019, 2020. God gave me a break in 2020. And then 2021, my cousin passed. And we lived in the same apartment complex. He was the reason why I moved there, for security purposes, to know that I felt safe being on my own, because it was the first time I lived by myself, solo dolo. And I was in Unit B, and he was in Unit A, literally like a hop and a skip. So he would always come by frequently, every other day, and check on me, or he'll give me a call and be like, cuz, what you doing? You want to go here? You want to go there? You need me to bring you anything? So all of those passings were unexpected. So everybody was just taking it really, really hard. Even my parents, with my best friend, they were just like, what? you just went to Jamaica, are you sure it was her? I'm like, yes, it was her. So everything was just happening so fast, and it's just like, I just don't understand how people don't consider other people's emotions, because I'm very much an empath. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm very empathetic, and so yeah, I don't understand it or comprehend it quite well when others aren't the same way. I'm still working on that, understanding and accepting that everybody is not like me. And I know, and my mom struggles with that too, with accepting that everybody is not like her. Everybody don't think the way that we think. Everybody don't think in advance and try to look out for everybody else before self like we do. And that's just very unfortunate. But you know, it is what it is. It's life. It's life. We're not all the same. Hold on, because this train is being disrespectful and so loud. Okay. I think it's done its due. Okay. but yeah, so it was just like, yeah, that was very hurtful and disrespectful, and kind of just put a bad taste in my mouth. So yeah, this is just for any church who may not know that they're doing this. Stop it. Stop it. This is your confirmation right here to stop doing that to people, and consider everybody. Make everyone feel important, because everyone is important. But yeah, that was just so crazy to me. So yeah, I'm just still, even still now, I'm just like, I like the church that I'm at currently, but I'm still, for whatever odd reason, attached to my other church. And maybe it's just the years that I was there. I do get fed at the church that I'm currently at now, but I don't know, I just still miss my other church. So I'm really in limbo. It's really like conflicting and very complex for me right now to just still try to figure it out after all of this time. So like I said, we haven't been there since 2021, and we went back in January of 2024, and even though it's different and stuff, I just miss that feeling. I miss that atmosphere, just because I have so many memories there. I was in organizations there from a child. I was on the usher board. I was in a girls organization, all kind of stuff, like church camp we used to go to and stuff. We've gotten older now, so of course church camp stops at 18, I think, so we've been a little too old, but it's still just like so many memories that were good, that were decent, that I hold dear to my heart. So it's still like an attachment, but I also know right versus wrong, wrong versus right, and that you can't treat people any kind of way and just think that we're supposed to let it fly. So I don't know, let me know what y'all think. This has been very tough for me. And I used to invite people to the church just to get them back on track with going to church in general, and people who have went there loved it, enjoyed it. I'm telling y'all, like, it was a lit church, righteously lit for the most part now, outside of that hiccup, but lit. We had so much fun, while also learning, truly learning the word. I felt the most fed at that church, and now I have to learn to allow myself to be as fed as this church. And my mama is always like, if you want to go back, you could go, but I just feel like my loyalty is to them, because again, it's not like I don't understand why they stopped going to the church, because I absolutely do. It's just, I'm all about showing people grace, and just lots and lots of grace. But then again, I'm torn in between my loyalty as well. And even my dad, he misses the church tremendously, which is why we went back in January, because he does work. His work consists of going to people's houses and fixing things and doing this. So he gained a lot of his clientele from that church. So he still goes to the houses of some of those church members and fix stuff. And they kind of like got in his ear and was trying to persuade him, well, Rome, just go back, Jones, just go back and see how it is, see if you like it, see if you like the new teachings. but it is very different. It's just not even the same anymore. Like, I miss it, but realistically it's not the same. All of the other pastors, the children pastors, the youth pastors, they all left in the midst of that whole ordeal. They left and went to other churches, I'm assuming before they got a bad rep or whatever. They left. So now they're in Chicago, they're in different parts of Texas. Some of them have opened up their own churches. So it's just completely different. I think they only have like 2 or 3 people preaching now, including the first lady. And so it's just, I miss it, but when I went back there, it's like, what is left here for me? So I don't know. Again, I'm in a limbo, but I just wanted to express myself on that event and just, you know, churches, let's do better. Because this is also part of the reason why people stop coming to church, because they feel like it's fraud. They feel like the church house is fraud and the people are fraud. And from our experience, I completely understand why now, because that was just wrong. That was downright wrong, and to my vocabulary, trifling. So yeah, let's do better. Get it together. Be kind. Be the people of God, God's people, and help each other, help people in their time of need. I know some people like to play games and say that they're struggling when they're really not, and they take advantage, but I can let you know right now, my family is not like that. So for us to have specifically gotten treated like that was just completely distasteful. But I just came on here to say that. And of course my battery is about to go out because I've literally been sitting here. I was moving from place to place trying to record, but this bench was taken by a couple, so of course I wasn't going to intrude on that. And then it was this Jewish family that came for a family photo shoot and portraits, so I moved from that area. I was just about to start recording, and then they came. I was like, oh my gosh. So then I moved to another location. That's the hard part about not having an office or my own place right now, because I could just sit and chill and do whatever I need to whenever without going through all of these obstacles. But right now I'm just using nature as my background, and we making it do what it do, okay? So that's the challenging part about it though. So where I went last, it was too much sun. I couldn't record, couldn't see myself. It was overly exposed, the lighting. So the couple finally got up, and I walked all the way over here speed walking with my tripod and stuff in hand, because it was a group of 6 Spanish guys who were trying to also look for a place. So I was like, I've been waiting here trying to figure out an area and a location. Let me book it on over here. So I finally found it, and we're just chilling, talking from the bench. But yeah, y'all, it's about that time. And then I had to wait too for the sun to go down so it can kind of be chill, because it was too hot earlier. I came out here after church the first time after I came from the mall. I came out here and it was just too hot, so I just took it on in the house and waited for it to calm down a little bit, and then came back out. So now it's beautiful. But yeah, we're about to go ahead and go to the house again, and I'm gonna help my mama with some stuff. My poor baby, she just been washing. She didn't even go to church. I'm the only one in the house that went to church today, because they had just a lot of cleaning to do. So let me go ahead and help her with that, and I will talk to y'all next time. And yeah, I hope y'all had a great, beautiful Sunday like myself. And I hope y'all got out and about like myself. I did get some new shoes, y'all. It was so funny because I had to FaceTime my nephews. They went with us yesterday to get some, like, we went to go get my nephew's tablet and stuff set up, which we did not accomplish. We have to take it back and get a complete new tablet, an iPhone tablet, because none of us have Samsung phones, and it all has to connect and intertwine in order for it to work. So we have to get him an iPhone tablet. But before we did that, we went to the shoe store, and my oldest nephew didn't like any of the shoes for me that I picked out and had him to look at. My youngest nephew did. I think my youngest nephew got a little bit more pizzazz in the shoe area, just in general, not for female shoes, just chill out. I'm just saying shoes in general. He have a little knack for sneakers for kids. So he helped me, but then I ended up not getting any from that shoe store. So I went to another shoe store by myself today, just where I can focus and get some me time. And then I FaceTime both of them separately on both of their phones. And I was able to get some shoes today. I might post them out here. Yeah, I'm gonna post them. But yeah, so I got me some little kicks. I love Pumas. I be trying to detach myself from Pumas, but they just keep calling me. And even my nephews, both of them agreed on this pair. Well, no, the pair of Pumas that they did agree on, I put them back, and I got the ones that I wanted. Because I was like, yeah, they cool. And then they know me, of course, so they know my favorite color is pink. So they saw the pink on there, and they was like, yeah, get those, TT, those fly. I like them. I like them for real. And then I got them, and then I was getting ready to head to the register, to the checkout line, and I turned around, put them back, and got the ones with the black strip. I just felt like they were just so classy. I'm gonna put them on here. They were just so classy and classic to me. So I was like, ooh, I was trying to do some hot top Nikes. They was fresh too. I might go back and get them. They was fresh. I went in there really looking for some work sandals. And some tennis shoes, so I didn't waste my money because I was looking for both. But I just ended up getting a pair of tennis shoes today. I like them. I don't care if y'all don't like them. I like them. I think they fly. But yeah, all right, let me get off of here. Video running over as always, going into 38 minutes. But all right, love y'all. Much prayers and goodness and light and blessings. I hope that all of those things fall upon you, and I hope your family is well, healthy. Hope you are well and healthy, and may God continue to bless you and all of those that you love. May he protect you, guide you, and keep you in the light and on the path of righteousness in his holy name. Love y'all much. Oh, this feels so nice, y'all. Can y'all hear the breeze, the wind? And then I have all of the plants in front of me, if y'all can see them swaying. The trees ain't giving me nothing too much, but these plants are giving me life, literally. They give us oxygen. These trees give us oxygen. But beautiful, beautiful day. After the darn tornado, after the rain. All right, Betty Wright. You better, girl. The sun is gonna shine, yeah. But all right, y'all, let me get off of here. So gorgeous. Oh my gosh, if it wasn't getting late, I would stay out here for another hour. But we gotta be safe out here, you know. All right, bye till next time. Y'all know my signature. Bye.